Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. We have a guest today.
She just desperately wants to be in the video.
Yes. But today we're going to be talking about our February reading wrap-up. Chasity did way better than me this month. She read 11 books, I read 5, but I am still 1 ahead in my reading goal, so...
I'm 3 ahead in my reading goal
okay,
right now.
Jess.
I mean, here's the thing is I finished a lot of poetry collections this month.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad. The actual full-length novels that I'm reading are taking me a little bit longer because I was really into my audiobooks this one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
And 3 of my books are a trilogy that I reread on vacation. And so I'm excited to talk about those. I think I've mentioned them on the channel before. I've definitely mentioned them to you before.
Yeah, for sure.
Something I read like, I think in middle school or like freshman year of high school. And I just really wanted to reread them this month. So yeah, let's jump into it.
So I'm just going to put this as a series because I completed the series throughout the month. I re-listened to all of the A Court of Thorns and Roses, getting ready for the new one. I have just...
I didn't even notice you had it back here.
It's just
beautiful. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but...
I don't know, but it's there. I started the new one, but I'm only a few pages in, so I'm hoping today to really like dive into it. I'm trying not to go too fast though, because I don't know when I'm gonna get the next one and that's gonna hurt. So my re-listen, because I re-listened to these, was just amazing. I'm totally engulfed in this world again, and I noticed what in the world?
You good?
I noticed a lot more things, and I was able to pick up on some more stuff that I maybe missed or interpreted in a different way because I was younger when I read it for the first time through. But God, I just love this series, and I'm just so impressed with it.
Yeah. The first one that I finished in February was Sinner's Retreat by Victoria Ellis. This is something that she talked about last month and I mentioned really wanting to read, so I borrowed it from her and I finished it really quickly and I also loved it like she did.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I think I'm not going to go too much into it because she talked about it last month and it's one of those that I feel like you should go into with like as little information as possible. But it's definitely like a horror / thriller. It gives me like Saw vibes.
For sure.
Yeah,
I loved it so much.
It was cool. I really liked it.
And I've definitely talked about some of her other ones. Actually, my next one is by Victoria Ellis. All My Ghosts Have Heartbeats, her newest poetry collection, which is out now. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I definitely connect to her on so many levels. She's just an amazing person and an amazing writer, and I definitely recommend any of her stories.
Yeah, It was my first one by her, but it won't be my last.
Yeah, she's really good.
The next book I finished, so let me just preface this by saying that I finally got the COVID vaccine, so I finally traveled for the first time in like a year and a half. I went on like a very socially distanced family vacation, and by family it was me and my boyfriend and my mom and my stepdad and my sister to Florida. And one of my favorite trilogies that I read as a child took place on the beach in like a beach house, and so while I was in Florida on the beach I just kind of had those vibes and I wanted to reread it. So I reread The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han, and I think it's so funny to reread books now as an adult that I read as a child because I look at things completely differently.
Totally different perspective.
And I don't even know if I would like these books if I read them for the first time as an adult, but I still do have such a special place in my heart for them. Anyway, we got rudely interrupted by the phone, but like I was saying, I am choosing to like look over all the issues with the characters.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you just gotta.
Here's the thing with this trilogy though, because she's actually gonna read it for a movie, or not a movie, a video. I can't think today. She's gonna read it for a video that we're doing, and I'll just go ahead and warn you that the main character is like a super selfish person.
Okay.
But I almost kind of appreciate that because I feel like, especially like in young adult literature, that's not a character that's ever written. You know, usually they're like selfless and meek.
Yeah, and that's really not a
quirky.
teenager.
No, and she's not really quirky. She's like a very normal girl, and she has very, and you know, it's all from her point of view. So she thinks very selfish thoughts, like most teenage girls do. And so I do appreciate a character being written like that. Maybe it's just me trying to justify it, but
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. What's your next book?
My next one Oh, Hawk. The first book in the Men of Bird's Eye series by Kat Savage. I adored this story. So Hawk owns
she's messing with her earring.
got stuck. Hawk owns a tattoo shop.
Oh yeah, so your type.
So my type. The whole cast of characters in the tattoo shop, I absolutely loved them. And then the main character, I can't think of her name. They have a tattoo shop, and the main character, she's a single mom. She's just newly divorced. She's moved to a new state.
Drew?
Drew, yes.
Got it.
That's her name.
Drew, yes. Okay, so Drew is trying to get, you know, a job and get them on their feet and everything. And I just loved the whole chemistry between all of the characters and the tattoo shop. And it was definitely one of the saucier books.
Oh.
Loved it. Also loved her daughter, Ava, becomes really a part of the family that's in the whole like tattoo shop. And the relationship between Hawk and the daughter, Ava, is just beautiful. Like, all of their dates and stuff are centered around like what can we do with Ava included and types of stuff. So it was really, really nice.
Cute.
I loved it.
So obviously then the third one that I need to talk about is the second book in the trilogy, which is It's Not Summer Without You. I don't want to talk about these books too much because you're going to read them and I feel like we'll go into depth. And you can obviously go online and read about them. But this one is like probably my favorite book out of the trilogy. It's the saddest book out of the trilogy.
Oh boy.
Yes, it like breaks my heart every time I read it. It's where kind of Belly is like, who's the main character, her name's Isabel, but she goes by Belly, is like in the prime of her selfishness.
Okay.
But also, you know, there's a lot of other things happening in her life and in the lives of all the characters and all the side characters, and they're all dealing with like a big loss, and it's really sad. So I'll leave it at that. But
okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite in the trilogy because it's like there's a lot of character development in this one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love like when the characters have a good
Yes.
story arc throughout the
Yes.
series. That's kind of hard to do sometimes.
Yes.
The next one I read was Dangerous Curves by Stephanie Nicole. That is in her Furiously Fast series. It's number 2.
Halfway sitting down.
Halfway sitting down, halfway laying down on the table. This dog, I tell you. Anyways, I really enjoyed this one. I really do love anything that Stephanie writes. She definitely has a way of making her characters relatable, and the chemistry between her characters is wonderful. And I just love anything that Stephanie writes, so I will definitely rub her forever.
Yeah. The next one that I read, obviously, is the third one in the trilogy, We'll Always Have Summer. And I remember, and it's funny, it's why I mentioned, like, I kind of changed my opinion. Because, like, when I first read the trilogy back in the day, the third one was my favorite, and now it's probably my least favorite. My favorite character has the biggest character arc in this book, but, like, the rest of the storyline is not my favorite. I think this would probably, like I said, be my least favorite, even though it used to be my favorite back in the day. But it is nice to like kind of wrap up the story, and there's the very end, there's like a prologue, and you get to see where the characters are at. So I do like that aspect of it. But
I do too.
yeah.
She doesn't know what she wants.
No.
She kind of keeps inching closer to you, but then she tries to lay on the table and it's not working for her.
Does she want to come sit with me?
Do you want to go sit with Hannah?
Does she like to be held?
She does. She'll be fine if you take her.
Will she bite me if I take her?
She will not.
She's not.
She might yelp because she has certain spots that kind of hurt her, but like it's not like pain. It's.
Would you like to hand her to me?
No, you want to go to Hannah?
Oh. Okay. Oh, she's hefty. Oh no, she does not want to go to Hannah. She's flailing all around. There you go.
You don't want to go to Hannah?
She cannot decide. Oh, she farted again.
Yeah, she did. Hi, how you doing? Can you get off the table?
It's time to get down.
She just jumped. She just, okay, all right, bye. All right. All right, so we're done passing the potato. Okay. So the next two I'm just going to combine. I read Poems for the Dawn Volume 1 and Volume 2 by J.R. Rogue this month. I just love Jen's writing. I love her poetry. I can just get lost in it. I read a lot of poetry this month.
Yeah, I'm not a poetry person, but I'm glad one of us is, because then we can represent it on the channel.
I think maybe I was just really sad this month. So I was just reading a lot of poetry.
Just depressed.
But yeah, she's like definitely in my top tier of poets.
Yeah.
I literally read all of her poetry collection. She's the one that really got me into poetry.
Really? I didn't know that. So the next book that I read was Spilled Milk by K.L. Randis. So this one's been on my TBR for a long time. I follow the author on Instagram, and it's actually her memoir. It's a story of like, she was like really like sexually abused as a child and neglected and emotionally abused, and she's actually the one who called the police on her father, and this is kind of her story and the story of the trial and a little bit of her life after the trial and how she dealt with the trauma. And she's now super successful. You know, if you follow her on Instagram, like she's happily married and she's got 2 daughters, and they're completely self-sufficient on the income that she's made off this book, and they live on this like beautiful island, and she's just like thriving.
That's beautiful.
I know. So I love getting to see her now. But this book was really hard to read.
Oh, I bet.
For sure.
I bet. I do want to read it.
And it makes me, yeah, you do want to read it. It was good. And it makes me really admire the life that she has now, because I definitely see how hard it was for her to get there. It was good though. It was really good. Yeah. I mean, not good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it was written well.
Yeah.
But the contents of it were like hard to read.
Yeah, it was a harder read.
Yeah.
I get that. My last 2 are poetry collections, guys. Okay. I Am Not Your Final Girl by Claire C. Holland, which I loved. Each one of these poems was written like about a final girl in a horror movie.
Okay, that I might read.
Yes. Yeah. So like, I was so excited.
Yeah.
And they were so good. Like so good. I just loved them. And then like getting to see who was going to be next.
Yeah.
I was into it. Some of them aren't final girls, but like she explains in the beginning why she did what she did, like how she wrote it and whatnot, and I love it. So I think I just sat and read that one in one sitting.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is cool. It's a very interesting like theme. Something I've never seen done before, and I really loved it.
Yeah.
The last one I read was called I Am the Rage by Dr. Martina McGowan. And I think this is such an important poetry collection, especially right now. It talks about racism and injustice and just everything that is very present right now in today's world. And it just broke my heart. And then like the illustrations, because there was somebody else, I can't think of the person who illustrated, but the illustrations go so well with the story and what they're telling and talking about. I just highly recommend it. I think everyone should read this poetry collection. I was going to say book, but I mean, it is a book.
Technically a book.
That's technically
It's a book of poetry.
It's a book of poetry. So, yeah, everyone should read that one. I don't have very much for you this month. I'm sorry. I really just, we did not have a very good...
I just feel like I don't have a whole lot to say about them,
No.
and not because I didn't like the books, but because either because I feel like you should go into them blind, or because they're books that have, you know, that we're going to talk about in the future.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about like
it's hard to talk about poetry.
Yeah, it's very hard to talk. Like, okay, I liked it.
Yeah.
This is what it was kind of about.
There's no like synopsis.
Yeah, so I
poetry.
feel like I'm giving you very little this week, but that's what we did in February. Short month.
Some reading months. I like that. It was a short month. And
it was a short month, so.
I almost had one more book that I got to include, but I have about 20 more pages of it. And so it'll be in March. I'll probably finish it today, March 1st. And I'm really excited to talk about it because I've really enjoyed it thus far. I'll kind of see how the ending is.
Yeah, I'm actually reading like 3 different books right now that I'm really excited to talk about next month too. So
I am about halfway done with a spiritual book, and I want to get through another one this month. So that's kind of a new...
That's exciting.
Genre that we haven't talked about here, but
I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
That's really it for us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely hit that like button, comment down below, and tell us what you read this month. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And we will see you next time. Bye.